Fort McHenry is a historical American fort located in Baltimore, Maryland. It is best known for its role in the War of 1812, when it successfully defended Baltimore Harbor from an attack by the British Navy from the Chesapeake Bay. It was built back in 1798, and it was used continuously by the United States Armed Forces through World War I and by the Coast Guard in World War II. It was designated as a national park in 1925, but already in 1939 they redesignated it as a national monument and historic shrine. During the War of 1812, an American storm flag 17 by 25 feet was flown over Fort McHenry during the attack. It was replaced early on the morning of September 14, 1814, with a larger American garrison flag 30 by 42 feet. The larger flag signaled American victory over the British in the Battle of Baltimore. The Battle of Baltimore was the defining moment in the War of 1812. Following their devastating victory at Bladensburg, the British forces burned the American capital, Washington, D.C. Riding on the shoulders of their success, British commanders now had their eyes set on the third largest city in the United States, the port city of Baltimore. The Battle of Baltimore that would follow combined a naval and land assault against American forces around the city. Faced against the greatest military in the world, American forces held their ground and saved Baltimore from facing the same fate as Washington, D.C. The epic event also inspired Francis Scott Key to write the words that would eventually become the Star-Spangled Banner, today's national anthem of the United States of America. Two interesting facts connected to this place. The Star-Spangled Banner became a very popular patriotic song in America after the Battle of Baltimore, but this song will become the national anthem only in 1931. And the flag, which is flown over Fort McHenry, has 15 stripes and 15 stars, because back in 1814 America had only 15 states, and each state has its own star and its own stripe. Basically, the Star-Spangled Banner remains the only official American flag to bear more than 13 stripes. During the American Civil War, the area where Fort McHenry sits served as a military prison, confining both Confederate soldiers as well as a large number of Maryland political figures who were suspected of being Confederate followers. The imprisoned included newly elected Baltimore Mayor George William Brown, the City Council, and the new police commissioner, and even some members of Maryland General Assembly, along with several newspaper editors and owners. Francis Scott Key's grandson, Francis Key Howard, was one of these political detainees as well. During World War I, an additional 100-odd buildings were built on the land surrounding the fort in order to convert the entire facility into an enormous US Army hospital, basically for treatment of those troops who was returning from the European conflict. None of those buildings remain, while the original fort has been preserved and restored to essentially its original condition during the War of 1812. During World War II, Fort McHenry served as Coast Guard base, mostly used for training. The fort was made as a national park in 1925. On August 11, 1939, it was redesignated as a national and historic shrine. It was placed on the National Register of Historic Places on October 15, 1966. Today, the fort has become a center of recreation for the Baltimore locals as well as a prominent tourist destination. Thousands of visitors come each year to see the birthplace of the Star-Spangled Banner. It's easily accessible by water taxi from the popular Baltimore Inner Harbor. However, to prevent abuse of the parking lots at the fort, the National Park Service does not permit passengers to take the water taxi back to Inner Harbor unless they have previously used it to arrive at the monument. Several authorized archaeological digs has been conducted and found some artifacts at the fort. All these artifacts are on display in one of the buildings surrounding the grounds. These structures as well as the visitor center have numerous of other exhibits, so you're always welcome to come and check it out. And every September, the city of Baltimore commemorates Defenders Day in honor of the Battle of Baltimore. It's the biggest celebration of the year at this fort, accompanied by weekend programs, events, and of course fireworks. Fort McHenry is open year-round, except for Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. It is conveniently located close to Inner Harbor as well as to I-95 Interstate Highway. So if you head into Baltimore, stop by this place, check it out, see the birthplace of American Anthem.